We're not waiting for opportunity, we create an opportunity. We're not waiting for opportunity, we create an opportunity. What's your network like? What's your network like? Let me say it correctly for you. What is your net worth looking like? Okay, sometime in the past, before, you can check out my other video, I was talking about revenue. In one of the financial statements, which is the income statement, which is also known as a profit and loss. So I'm going to talk about another part of it on what we call as a part of the top line. I'm going to talk about cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold is a direct expense that ties to the product or service that you're selling. So I think I explained it before, but if you make t-shirts, right? And you sell t-shirts, you have a cost of goods, right? For the t-shirt. It costs you, even if you print it yourself, it still costs you for the ink, it costs you for the shirt, to buy the shirt from whatever manufacturer you get it, or if you got the machine where you create the shirts, it still costs you for the machine. These things are part of your cost of goods before you even sell it. So you side the shirt, you bought the shirt, say you bought it for 15 bucks, the shirt. Say to get it printed on, say it costs you another 8 bucks to print on. I'm just throwing numbers out here to print on the shirt. Okay, so 15 bucks, 8 bucks, $23 for the shirt. Then, so what you're gonna do? You're gonna sell it obviously for more than what you paid for it, right? Your direct cost to the shirt. So you may sell it for 35, 40, depending on the material, the type of material, you know, what you're looking back, what you need back for your gross profit, right? So whatever you paid for this before you sold it is a direct cost, you know? Even if you got it in bulk, then you would just break that down to each shirt. You know, that's the direct cost. That's the cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold for you in your life also as well, you know, it really matters, you know, or the things that you're paying for to get the revenue you need, right? Because cost of goods sold is tied with revenue, right? Because you'll get your revenue. Like I said, somebody buys a shirt for 35 bucks, right? So that's your revenue, your sale, $35, right? Then you're gonna minus underneath it the cost of goods sold, which is the 15 plus the 8, $23, right? And then now you got what? $12 left over as gross profit, okay? So you paid for about the cost back of the shirt, and now you've got the extra, right? So now we have things that ties into our revenue of life. To me, you know, if that may be a husband, a wife, a mother, a father, a son, friends, a car. Let me give you an example with on the other side with like cars. An employee has to take that in consideration, because some jobs may ask you, hey, do you have reliable transportation to get here? And that's one of the requirements of working here. And that might be Uber, right? Lyft. You may have a car lease or a car that you finance, right? Then you got other expenses that go with that auto as well. So, you know, if you have to have that car in order to have a job, the reliable transportation, you know, you could look at that as a cost of good monthly that you got to pay to go to work. That'll take away from your check of your revenue that you receive, right? So when you look at revenue, what creates profit or worth in your life, right? You know, and what takes away from it, or what do you have to have around for it? So let's use a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, right? So, or, you know, or just partners, let's say partners, 2022, a partner. Now, to feel that you are not alone, is this person taking more from you, where your gross profit, you know, your revenue to not be alone. And what that's costing you, whatever that partner is that partner taking a lot from you where your gross profit margin, your top of the line margin is very small. Meaning, is your cost of goods sold too much? Is it too much? Right? Because why would I buy a shirt for $20, print it for 10, right? And then turn around and sell it for 35, 36. That's only $6. Especially if I don't have enough. What am I doing here? Do I have, like, is that worth it? It may be worth it to you. You might have other plans where you building off it, you're saving that. I don't know. But is someone, you not being by yourself and you having a partner, is that partner worth it? Because you may not look at the partner as a kind of goods, but it is, because that partner is directly tied to you, directly tied to your life, directly tied to your daily thinking and thought process, right? If you guys are really in a serious relationship, a relationship where that you are committed to, let me say, I say serious, a committed relationship. You understand? Or you guys really tied in, right? Because if you are, you're going to be thinking about what the person may want to eat today, what the person may need for tonight, why the person didn't call, or is the person okay? I didn't hear from them. Why do you look like that? Why do you smell like that? What happened? Woo, where you were, this and that. Can I trust? You see what I'm saying? All these other things. Are you loyal? Do you care about me? Are you being selfish? You know what I mean? All these things that takes away from you. And to me, the true revenue and network of you is you being be the best you can be. Feel the best you can feel. You know what I mean? So is that relationship taken away from you? Is that job taken away from that? Is that business that you're doing, is that worth it? You understand? Are these things taken away from you getting to your best worth, your best net worth? Is that doing that? Do you need to change the product? Or do you need to change the vendor where you're getting the product from? Or do you need to change your job because it's a bit too far and it's costing you a bit too much and you need to downgrade from having a car to just like taking a bus or taking a bike? So I need to find a job closer? You know what I mean? Or where I can Uber closer? You know what I mean? Like, is the business, like, is this really cost effective? Because there's some cost that's effective, right? That's how we see if it's cost effective, right? Because everything has a cost. You pay for it one way or another, right? So that's what we have to look at. The things that directly tie, right, to what our overall want or need is. And if that's the correct thing that we're tying it to. Do I need to change what I'm tying love to? Or who? Or what? Do I need to change how I make myself feel better? Right? Look at people in drug abuse, right? They like this drug all the time and they're chasing this high and this feeling. Or they're dealing with this depression or this issue that makes it feel better, right? To get that, what they're feeling, what they want to feel, that works for them. But it decays them and takes away from them, really. And they see that the work is really not measuring at the end, because at the end, I've been up for 3, 4, 5 days, or I lost my house, or I'm sleeping on a street. Not by choice. Because of this cost of good that I tie directly to how I want to feel or how I want to deal with something. Are you tying the wrong things to that? Or are you tying the wrong things to what you're trying to make yourself become or what you already are? So maybe you're becoming something because of what you're tying yourself to. You know, I don't feel I've ever changed. I feel I've found out more of who I am. You know, people will say, man, Nicole, I remember what you used to be and this and that and whatever the case is and where you are today. Oh my gosh, woo, woo, woo. And it's like, no, I was always there because the close ones to me, real close ones who taught to me, know my thoughts, knew my feelings. I just didn't believe that's who I was. And I didn't believe that's who I was. It could shine or can make representation in a good way, you know, because it didn't add up to what was going on around the way. You feel me? But I always felt and thought like this. You know what I mean? My family, you know, my mother and father are not together, but my mother and father, this is how they talk. This is who they are. You know, so it's, you know, I have uncles, this is how they talk, this is who they are. So it's not far-fetched. No, it's not. Because I have a lot of friends who are older than me who used to hang out, you know, and they would go talk with my mom. Why? Why are you so comfortable talking to my mother? Because she understood, you know? So it was always there. I just didn't believe it. So once I started believing that, then I started taking away the things that took away that gave me a small profit margin, gross profit margin. Those costs, you know what I mean? Those people, those things, those habits, those behaviors, those thought processes. You feel me? That tied into my sales, into myself, right? Say sales or say self, right? Okay? That ties into self. You know what I mean? So take a look at your cost of goods. You know, your direct expense that ties to your product or service, right? If that's what you have, a company. Take a look at your direct expense, your cost of goods sold, that ties into you having to go to the job every day. You know, if that's the car, if that's transportation, if that's who you gotta work with, the stress. You know, I've been in a situation when I worked with someone where it taught me so much because I have a mentor. She's like around the same age as me, but she's still a mentor because it doesn't make a difference about your age. This is what you do for me, and I appreciate her to the max. I have many mentors as well too. Some people probably don't even know it. But you know, she helps me with that process of what my profession is over the years. And I went somewhere and she suggested that I go work somewhere when I was already somewhere I was comfortable and I was good at. And I took her advice. She said, this is going to give you more information that you need to do and experience and to become a good expert. So I went and all the red flags was there, like, yo, don't go. Even told her, she was like, listen, I know, but look, I'm gonna have your back with this, right? So I went and it was like this, like I thought it was all great. It was like a relationship. Like in the beginning, it was like, oh my God, you're the best, you're this. Like this is what I'm hearing about myself every day. And everybody's telling me, oh, we didn't hear this about the last 8 people that was here, right? In the past year. I was like, whoa, wait, which I knew before, so I'm like, yo, I know what I'm walking into right now. But I wanted to take the risk and the time to learn, to build, you know, my tools. So then it just went, after like 3 months, it went from one way to a whole nother side. And I'm talking to the mentor about it, and then she's the person trying to block the mentor out the way and all this. And it was just like, it was getting really bad. And then I was just seeing some rotten stuff that was being done to even other people who were working there financially as well. And I was just looking at it and I was like, man, this sucks, right? And at the point in the time, I'm like, I want to go, but I couldn't tell myself because I got wife and kids, right? And this is, you know, things that going bad and it was just like all this stuff going on. I'm just like, yo, this is ridiculous, man. This is wrong. And my head was pounding all the time. My eyes were turning red just from speaking to this person. It was just bad. It was negative. And this person knew who this person knew their attributes. I remember my wife met this person one time because my wife, her profession, she can deal with this stuff. I'd rather her tell, when we get together, we'll tell you about professions and stuff. And the person goes to her, tells her who she is, and my wife goes, yo, this person knows exactly what she's doing. She says that she's this. She knows it. She's like, there's no, oh, I think about it. She's like, I don't know what to tell you because she's like, she knows exactly what she's doing and who she is. This is no, this and that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not tripping then. She does, right? But it was so hard and rough. And I'm like sitting there like, yo, is this worth it? It's every month. I'm like, oh my God, I was like ready to quit, like ready to go. I was ready to walk out like twice. Like I walked out, like, you know what I'm saying? And my wife's like, yo, just chill, be easy. Because I think the other part, we get stuck on that, oh man, I got to pay these bills. I got kids. I got all this going on. So it gets rough. You're just like, yo, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going back to the street, right? I'm not going back there. I ain't been back there in years. You feel me? So I'm not going back there. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm like, yo, I got to put it up for my family. I got to deal with, you got to deal with some things. You got to pay for what you want. You're going to pay with pain. You're going to pay with time. Or you're going to pay with money. You're going to pay. One way or another, you're going to pay to learn. You feel me? So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what's going on right now? What is happening? This is like, you know what I mean? Like this, I'm like, I want to cuss. It's like, I'm looking at this person. The person even said one time, like, yo, you're not listening to me. I said, nope, I'm not. You know what I mean? So it was like that tense. And when I went, after it was all said and done, you know what I mean? And everything. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it later on, right? And I'm like, yo, I learned so much there, you know, of my profession, which had nothing to do with that person because they didn't know that. Like, they were trying to get me basically to teach them that so they can tell someone else that. You know what I mean? But, like, I learned of how much you should bear to cost of what's your cost? How much are you going to take as a cost to yourself for something? Because it's financial, because of uncomfortability it may put you in. What is your line of like, nah, that's it. Out of here. Be done with that. You know what I mean? Some people are quicker, like, yo, they're going to go offhand, this and that, and that's it. Some people are to me, way too long. Like, you've been dealing with some stuff way too long. But all these things, the work, you know, the bills, the kids, this, when I'm asleep, all these things that have you, like, trapped. You know, that have you trapped in it. So, you know, that's what it taught me. It's like, what's my cost of good? What's the direct expense I'm going to take on myself, my mind and body, for money, for happiness, for wealth, for peace? You know, what's my direct cost? What am I willing to take as a cost for that? You know? So, you know, that's what we're talking about. You know, cost of goods sold directly tied to your sales for your top of the line gross profit. That's in your financial statement, income statement, also known as profit and loss. This was a long one, but I hope you got this one. We're not waiting for opportunity, we create an opportunity. We're not waiting for opportunity, we create an opportunity.